My Own Private Idaho won awards at the Toronto, Deauville, and Venice film festivals. River was awarded Best Actor honors by the National Society of Film Critics.
The business always goes for what you do best. So if they get recognition, like at the Venice Film Festival, the Toronto Film Festival, wherever it is, in France and in Holland, when critics start speaking up and they believe in something, then you have the power from the corporate leaders.
River took lucrative parts in the ensemble action film Sneakers, the art house western Silent Tongue, and a romantic tale of aspiring country music singers in Nashville.
When I first spoke to him on the phone, when he had expressed interest in playing the part and wanting to work with me, I said, well, you've never played a part anything like this. This guy has a real element of danger. How would you convey that? There was a short pause, and Rivers said, silence.
Word had spread in Hollywood circles that River was doing heroin and cocaine, and sometimes mixing the two.
He would do drugs in a kind of binge and purge method, where when they were around and people were handing them to you because you're a famous person, he would tend to take more than I think his body could handle. And he didn't use drugs every day like somebody who, is kind of going along their whole lifetime being an addict. He might do drugs and then take a few weeks off and try to clean himself out and stop. This can be a lot more dangerous and, in the end, a lot more lethal.
River sought a different kind of release, in music.
We were in overdrive. We would literally work 20-hour days every day, Monday through Sunday. And very rarely, a quick break to have something to eat and back into the studio, and constantly.
High-paying offers for film work lured River away from the studio, leaving his new music unfinished.
Like for instance, one time he asked me, he said, I can either keep practicing for the next 3 months, or I could fly to LA and come back with $1 million. What do you think I should do?
In September of 1993, River traveled to the Utah desert to appear in the film Dark Blood.
Before he had left for that, his father had come to plead with him to stop the movies. Take a year off. Just stop. Record your music. Focus on your music. Because anybody who was around him could see that that's what brought him real joy.
I'm happy. It's all utopia to me. Yeah. Sure. This is some perverse utopia of some kind. I don't know what, but some kind of utopia it is.
Well, the problem is that I believe very much in the Native American Indians who really owned this land beforehand. And their idea was that a photo can take your soul. And it scares the out of me, too, to be frank.
To be in front of a camera?
Oh, it's so frightening.
Oh.
That's why when I'm on set, I never look at the camera. You don't look at the camera. I'm very frightened right now. I'm dealing with it somehow.
Yeah, you're dealing with it quite well.
But I really am frightened.
River Phoenix put his drug habits aside in the fall of 1993 to make the thriller Dark Blood. Director and cast argued bitterly over the script. River was miserable.
He called about 2 days before that day he came to L.A., and he said, I'm having and he left several messages. And he said, and then the last one was that he said, I'm having such a hard time keeping my head above water in this crazy business.
River returned to Los Angeles on a break from shooting. On October 30th, he went to the Viper Room Club with his sister Rain, brother Joaquin, and new girlfriend Samantha Mathis. Shortly after midnight, he left his group and ran into a friend in the bathroom.
I was told that one of his friends, so-called friends, gave him a little vial and said, drink this, you'll feel marvelous. And he did. Like God knows how many of us would have drunk something in that state on a night off from a difficult time. So, but nobody stopped him, really, and nobody helped him, and nobody said, River, get in the car, it's time to go home.
River staggered around the club and began to go into convulsions. Bouncers dragged him outside onto Sunset Boulevard. He remained conscious long enough to see a photographer leaning over him, but no pictures were taken. The photographer called 911.
It's never once been a question to me. I've said often that I'm a human being first and a photographer second. I do not regret choosing not to photograph River Phoenix. It's just something I could not live with to this day, and I would be very surprised if it doesn't haunt the photographers that did what they did to Princess Diana from now until the day they die.
One photographer did capitalize on the death of River Phoenix, taking a picture of the actor in his casket at the funeral home. Star magazine ran the photo, claiming it was to show teens the evils of drugs. Most articles and books on River Phoenix present his life as one destined for an early death.
So to take a moment in time or to try to explain the whole existence of a person using one moment in time is extremely narrow-minded, and it's not accurate.
The Los Angeles coroner's report found cocaine, heroin, Valium, and a small amount of marijuana in River's bloodstream.
I think there's a lot of pressure in Hollywood, There's a lot of pressure to do, to be a lot of things that maybe he wasn't. I think River's mom says it best when she says, children make mistakes.
River was cremated, and his ashes were spread on the family property in Micanopy, Florida. Most of River's siblings have also pursued acting careers. His brother Joaquin emerged as a major adult star. For his role in Gladiator, he was nominated for a Best Supporting Actor Oscar, and, like River, did not win. His date for the event was his mother, Hart.
From day one, from interview one, he probably hasn't done one interview where people haven't asked about his memories of his brother, or where were you when your brother died, and were you close with your brother, stuff like that.
In the media that River so feared and reviled, questions about him are treated as off-limits by most friends and family.
It's a strangely political idea that there's a subject that if you talk about it would somehow contaminate you or someone else in your family. I mean, his family's sort of withdrawn from it. I would like them all to speak out. You can't let River be abandoned like this. He was abandoned on that street, in a way.
Why should they sit here and talk about where they had so much pain? But, I was just a friend. And I think I'm doing better to talk about River Phoenix than not talk about River Phoenix. Because I came here to tell you what a wonderful, strong person he was. So what is wrong with that? That people know that? No. That he was an actor who got really into his role? No. That he has a wonderful family? No. So what is there?
Please edit this really kindly and take out all the lamb shit. Really, please? Okay. I kind of want to do the interview again. I kind of want to do this again.
My friend River Phoenix and I shared many common interests. Our love for music, our respect for film, and our love for animals that made us both vegetarian. These are just a few of the reasons that it meant so much to me to have hosted this biography on behalf of my friend.